Go for recognition?
Yeah.
That's crazy work.
Yeah. Do you guys get it for yearbook?
Yeah.
Yeah, okay. That'd be really bad.
It's so dope.
Yeah. Okay, man.
We have the Photoshop package as well.
Yeah.
Actually,
Adobe Photoshop?
yeah. Lightroom Photoshop. 41.
Wow. Well, hi, I'm Fella.
Chi. Cameron.
Okay then, we are gonna be talking about this first Lit Circles chapters 1 to 6. I'm a literary illuminator.
Literary critic. Literary critic. Critic.
Not clinic.
Critic.
Critic.
Being connected.
Being connected, and we are all fact checker in a mysterious way. LeConte, you will be arriving soon, so I'm not sure whether to start or whatever, but hey, let's do it. So, I have 5 passages that I'd like us to go through. How we could do this is that I'll go through a passage about one of the passages, and we'll all give our own explanation, first of all, what we thought of that passage, and then I have a question about the passage, right? Okay, so this one is the Telescreen chapter 1, just introducing. There was, of course, no way of knowing whether you were being watched at any given moment. You had to did live, from habit that became instinct, and the assumption that every sound you made was overheard, and except in darkness, every moment scrutinized. I'll go first real quick. For that one, it just reminded me of hey, okay, in this book, this passage right here is setting our scene, setting up the world. Hey, everyone's being watched. You don't really have a right to privacy anymore, and that's a correlation we can make. Does everyone agree with that, or any other takes out
I
there?
think that's what I wrote down too, about the symbolism of telescreens and how they're omnipresent in the story.
Yeah.
Symbolizes the nature and the ability of totalitarian governments to, I guess, monitor their citizenships and also, in a way, blast propaganda into their faces to
Yeah.
control them. Any thoughts, Cameron?
I think you guys covered pretty much it.
Yeah.
It's really just like a totalitarian
Totalitarian.
Yeah. regime,
Mm.
comparable to the Nazis with the Gestapo.
Yeah. Exactly. Then the question is, how does this passage reveal the psychological impacts of constant surveillance? Do you think the fear of being watched changes how people think, not just act? For me, I saw that as in hey, especially during the physical jokes, I think they were called.
Yeah.
People had to constrict their faces when they were listening to the 2-minute hate.
Yeah.
They also had to constrict their faces. You could see people had control, the government actually had control over their emotions. Pretty sure I've covered that. If anyone else wants to add.
I think that also, in the way it changes how they act. The book, Orwell describes thought crime, but he
Yeah.
also describes face crime.
Yeah.
How one man, for even a split second, just showed grimace in his face, and that probably would have gotten vaporized.
Yeah.
It just goes to show the lack of freedom that there is in the society of 1984, and how individuals are forced to suppress their actions, and in a way self-censorship, where they become so numb to the fact that they don't have a will over their actions, and instead of being in a conscious state of actually living as a human being, they're more like just vessels carrying out the will of the party.
Yeah.
You could say that they have done this so much they've adapted, and it's become a habit for them to survive.
Yeah.
It's become like an instinct. It says here, you had to live, you did live. From habit that became instinct. So you would have had to assume everything you heard or everything you did was being scrutinized.
Yeah.
I think in the scene of the 2-minute hate, where even Winston has this internal dialogue where he is dubious of Big Brother and the regime of the party, and yet he finds himself just instinctively shouting and screaming at the screen without even thinking about it, which goes to show, Cameron said, how much of a habit it's become to follow the party and do what they're brainwashed into.
Yeah. Yeah, okay. Second passage. We should continue doing second. Yeah. Second, and then once we've all done our separate, we'll give a fact check at the end. Second passage was again the party slogans: war is peace, freedom is slavery, ignorance is strength. These slogans are contradictions, also known as, in George Orwell's world, doublethink, right? But I mean, they're not contradictions in 1984, they're contradictions in our world.
Right.
Here, they've been brainwashed. I remember it was Syme when he was talking with Winston, saying how the people will be too ignorant, right? That they won't even be able to properly think for themselves. And what they will know is that war is peace, freedom is slavery, ignorance is strength. Do you think the party believes that, or do you think they just use that as tools of control?
Well, I actually did this to connect for my part of it. So, they're repeated so often that it's become accepted as truth. And the party's created language in newspeak aims to eliminate words for rebellious concepts.
Yeah.
So all these words can only be used for their advantage, making it impossible for them to have any level of distinct.
It's just with English.
Red circle, you have to record red circle.
Yeah.
And
We're coming in as a fly on the wall to that circle.
Yeah.
We're just gonna listen to you guys for tonight.
Yeah.
So then there's a chair over there.
Yeah, so,
And then,
yeah.
so they could be used also as modern day. It can be compared to modern day propaganda, such as Mark Carney's slogan "Elbows Up."
Yeah.
And for the individual ministries, there is like the contrast, like it's a double speak, as you said.
Yeah.
It's ironic how the Ministry of Truth was made to basically cover the truth.
Yeah.
Along with like that, yeah.
And I really liked, I'm trying to remember the exact, when you said your connection, making a connection through, it's repeated so much that it starts to believe that's true.
Yeah.
Right? If I were to make a real life connection, you already made one with Mark Carney, and then it's just a bigger one, right, would be Donald Trump constantly, like, when he would like lie, right, and be just exposed, but a lot of people would just believe it is true. So that's the real world connection there. You got anything like?
I just want to focus on the first two lines. The first one says, freedom is slavery.
Yeah.
Like, Syme is a very intelligent person. He's a devout follower of the party, and he praises the hanging. Like, he lives for the party, but he's still gonna get vaporized. He's still gonna get vaporized because he's too smart, and at some point that intelligence is gonna bring questions, and that's gonna cause rebellion. And so, engraving that thought that freedom is slavery just constrains them to just mindlessly following the teaching of the party.
Yeah.
And it's also just the only way the party can maintain absolute control by removing individual thought. And then the second line, war is peace, I think because the book describes that the three states, Oceania, Eurasia, and
Western Asia?
something like that.
Yeah,
The three parties are constantly at war. I think the party is intentional in constantly being at war to kind of create a common enemy to unify the citizens, but as well keep the citizens distracted to the point where they can't really question how terrible their living conditions are.
Yeah.
And
That's actually a really good connection there. Yeah, I see that too. Number 3, Winston's diary. To mark the paper was the decisive act. Now, I remember me personally, when I saw that, I was like, okay, I mean, it's just writing in a diary, and that doesn't seem too crazy on its own, right? But why is writing in a diary in that this 1984 were so radical? Why is it so crazy to do that?
Because you're expressing your individual thought.
Mm,
Thought leads to questions. Questions lead to rebellion.
yeah.
It's just trying to eliminate any factors that could lead to the downfall of the party.
No, there's this one saying, being alone with your own thoughts is very powerful, right? But then the idle mind is the devil's workshop, right? And I feel that the party would really use that saying, the idle mind is the devil's workshop, and just plaster it everywhere.
Yeah.
Because then, like you both have focused on,
Yeah.
thought, questions, right? It's just a horrible idea regarding.
What is this as
Principle, of course, yeah. And then,
Like even in development of Newspeak, like through the character of San, you get to know more about Newspeak. Like
Yes.
page 55, it says, like good can just be like bad can just be replaced with ungood. Anything like splendid, excellent can just be plus good. Anything beyond that plus good.
Yeah.
Like just restricting language as a whole and removing the need for creative expression. It's like making the language as dull as possible is also how the government's trying to like restrict the thoughts. Like even I guess making notes in the diary obsolete in a sense.
I wouldn't say I'm smart enough to even answer this question, right? But do you think that's happening in the slightest in our world right now? Where
Well,
people are trying to change things anyway, manipulate words, history, anything?
Brain rot.
Brain rot?
Brain rot.
Brain
Yeah.
rot, true.
I mean, another connection that could be
Mm.
made for like 1984 specifically would
Mm.
be the connection of I'm a prisoner of my own vocabulary,
Yes.
which we went over yesterday in
Mhm.
English class. The more you take away, the more limited you get, and the more limited you get, the less you can express. So that's where the saying, I'm a prisoner of my own vocabulary, because you're limited to so much things, so little things,
Mm.
that you can't express what you really feel.
Real quick, the 11th edition, let's say that took them, okay, let's prep for an estimate, let's say it took them 10 years to get, 30 years to get to this point, from the 1950s bombing till 1984. Let's say it took 30 years to get to the 11th edition.
Yeah.
How long do you think it will take from 1950 until the entire thing is rebranded as new and for children growing up, that is genuinely, no, everyone alive, that is genuinely all they know? Do you think it'll take more than one generation, or like how long do you think it'll take?
I would say one generation,
One generation?
2 generations at maximum,
Yeah.
because the amount of propaganda and things that they feed to the youth
Mm.
will make them grow up thinking that's the only thing they know.
Right.
An example of this would have been the Hitler Youth. Like some of them, 8-year-olds and 9-year-olds, they were so brainwashed with Hitler, Nazism,
Yeah.
that was all they knew, and they basically didn't do anything else.
Yeah.
And because when you're that young, your brain is easily manipulated, so then that's another factor.
Okay.
But even examples in the book, I think.
What do you
The Parsons children,
Yeah.
like when Winston goes to fix their kitchen sink, like they just come and try to, they're like, I don't know how to describe it, like
Guess
they're like you're a traitor, you're not part of the thought police.
Yeah, we tried to make a citizen's arrest.
You're not with the party yet. You're not with the party, and they're already brainwashed. And then, like, I think it said that he thinks that eventually Mr. or Mrs. Parson would be turned in by his own children.
Yes.
Like it's to the point where the youth are so easily manipulated that I think that it would only take one generation. I don't think it would even take a generation
Yeah.
for it to completely transition into Newspeak 11th edition. Because
Yeah.
even Simon tells Winston that he needs to start learning Newspeak.
Yeah.
Because I mean, I think that even the party has full control and they can just they can vaporize anyone
Yes.
that's not willing to speak Newspeak.
Yeah.
They have the Junior Spies program.
Yes.
Right.
Yeah.
That's next week too. 2 Minutes Hate, the 2 Minutes Hate. The rage that one felt was an abstract, undirected emotion which could be switched from one object to another, like the flame of a blow lamp. When I read that, I was just like, wow, that just shows the strength of how much anger and hate they've put into just anything the party deemed, let me use that language, ungood, right? So, Taishi, you won't know this, but Conte and Cameron were from AP Psych. I feel that with, what was the rat? Albus rat or something? I think where they used, they had a white rat, and then they had, like a sound, they associated, a child, little Albert, a child, and then they had a white rat, and they associated that white rat, anytime they showed the white rat, they had like a scary noise.
Yeah.
So they associated the two together, so that even when he didn't hear the sound, he was still scared of the rat, that white rat, right? Correct me if I'm wrong, Conte or Cameron, right? But
The
then,
smell.
yeah, exactly, just a sensory function, right? And just through that, I made that connection to Avery's Psych and just how the party really do have a really strong control over their people's emotion. Yeah. And then the question is, do we see modern examples of where anger is redirected towards scapegoats?
I mean, in Israel and Gaza right now, that's a prime example.
Yeah.
Or even in the U.S. with the immigrants,
Yeah.
with Trump's party heavily trying to get rid of all the immigrants, with ICE deporting all of them, and Trump basically putting out a lot of messages saying turn them in.
Mm-hmm.
With the director of ICE was saying that they removed the age requirement to join ICE. So I kind of see that as a little bit of.
That's mad. Yeah, that's madness. Anything? Oh, good. Yeah, okay. And the last one, we touched on it a little bit, but for children as spies, it was almost normal for people over 30 to be frightened of their own children. Me, first when I saw it, I was like, yeah, no, why would you have children? Like, because these things are too close to you, and they want to slime you out.
Yeah.
They genuinely, they want to.
Yeah.
Because I'm not sure, I think it was in the reading, so we were introduced to Winston's job,
Yeah.
right? Yeah, you guys were familiar with that?
Yeah.
With what he does? Yeah, as in, he manipulates newspapers and
Yes.
everything, yeah. So I saw, hey, he just made someone, right, out of thin air and let me use that language again, plus goods. The plus goods that there were for this Comrade Eaglov or something, sorry I butchered his name. But well, hey, he turned in his uncle. Because that guy, he said something that he should have said. And that's the good thing.
Yeah.
Turning in your own family.
Yeah.
Party over blood. And that's what I feel Simon probably doesn't have family. He seems more like he has a family of leather. Boot. He's a bootlegger. I believe that personally. But yeah, just why the questions are, why is the party's use of children so effective for control? And how does this destroy trust within families? And why would that be useful to a regime?
Well, it removes the aspect of affection for your children, for
Yeah.
one. Second thing is manipulation of children,
Yeah,
because they're so easy to manipulate. You can easily just,
yeah,
hey, if your mom says something about this, if your dad says something about this, let us know and we'll give you a reward or something.
exactly.
Right?
Then that's the thing too. Geez, just now too. So yeah, it would also count. I think it was you touched on this, but a lot of organized. I'm gonna use crime groups for a family, for an example. A lot of crime groups are families. A lot of business models are family oriented, right? A lot of restaurants family oriented. A lot of things start within families. We don't want our revolutions to start with families. And it's really easy in this world because the party, they knew exactly what they were doing here. Because now you got, it's either you have a Winston
Right.
or you have the Parsons. Right?
Mhm.
Those are the, I feel those are the two types of civilians in this world. Either you're on your own,
Or
you're
could you try to slime me out?
yeah, exactly. Or your kid trying to slime you out.
Yeah.
So that's pretty sad. But yeah, I think that's covered literally illuminator in a sense, and LeConte decided to join us now.
Hi.
So yeah,
Just gonna do attendance and listen in.
yeah. Who wants to go next? Whichever one.
Are you done?
Yeah, we'll do the fact checking all of us at the end.
I guess I can go because
Sure.
my fellas kind of covered a little bit of mine. So the first theme connection that I had was pervasive surveillance. In the book, the telescreen was the primary tool of the party control, acting both like as a television, but also like a surveillance device. And citizens were also told like the most famous catchphrase, "Big Brother is always watching you," so you truly have no private space.
Yeah.
The connection would be in today's society, like devices like smartphones, smart speakers, Alexa and Google Home are like kind of trained to listen for your voice. And security cameras are constantly collecting your data. And if anyone watched the movie, which movie was it? Fast and Furious, one of the Fast and Furious movies with God's Eye. It was like a satellite that was able to hack into
Yeah.
any cell phone camera. Anything with a camera could find you, basically. So that's kind of like the thing that came out as a connection. And then some government agencies, particularly the Ministry of State Security in China, as well as the former KGB in Russia, now the SVR, also use traffic lights, cameras on all streets
Yeah.
to basically just follow you, keep tabs on you, and I guess this is what Orwell kind of foresaw coming
Yeah.
to our world. Another connection would have been the manipulation of language and propaganda.
Yes.
So like we touched on that with fellas, like the party slogans, war is peace, freedom is slavery, ignorance is strength. They're repeated so often it becomes a truth. We kind of went over like how it connects to the real life world, like elbows out,
Yeah.
all that kind of stuff. And then the indoctrination of youth.
Yes.
This was another major concept that we connected.
Yeah.
Yeah, with like the Junior Spies program, turning the family in to benefit the party.
Yeah.
Can't we, in today's society, well, not exactly like today, but like more, a little bit in the past would have been the Nazi youth.
Yeah. Yeah.
I tried to see if Trump had one nowadays, because it would kind of seem normal if he had one.
Agent, I feel, to be honest, you know his app, he probably could
Yeah.
yeah. too. But then, real quick, it was one of my
Yeah.
fact-checking facts that Stalin, Soviet Union also encouraged
Yes.
children, like you had said
Yeah.
earlier, to inform their parents.
Yeah.
So, yeah, that was it.
I feel like maybe there's a modern day connection with like this idea that like loyalty isn't necessarily within the family, but it's a way to like fracture the family between parent and children. Like I think it was last year Alberta passed a law that said like if children were like they wanted their pronouns to be different than what they actually were, that like the school, well before this law went through, the school did not have to inform the parents that the children were feeling this way, that they were transgender or wanted different pronouns. Then a law was passed in Alberta to say like, no, you have to inform the parent. So I feel like maybe previously the government was saying like, if you are different or feeling different, that's fine, you don't have to inform your parents, right? But then the Alberta legislation passed a bill saying, no, parents need to know what their children are if they're changing their pronouns. So it's this idea of like, at least in Alberta, as I understood, it was like, no, let's keep the family whole. There's conversations that need to happen within the family. There's not like the school, which is a representation of the government, like Ministry of Education. They're not in league there and keeping the parents silenced. Or out. It's like, no, the family is the main root of communication and connection, and the government through education supports that. So there's a lot of fallout about that too. So maybe that's like a modern day connection as well.
Yeah.
I guess another one could use would be ICE with their
Mm.
age limit like they removed the age restriction.
Mm.
So people as young as like 15, 14 are legally allowed to apply for ICE now.
Interesting. Okay. Okay, good conversation, guys. I'll check back in a bit.
Can you check out on the done?
Mr. Conte?
Sorry.
Can you check in with you when we're done, like at the end of the block?
I posted it on the Google Classroom. I didn't press send yet, so I was trying to do a morning devotion as well. I said, when you're done, just stay in the room and read chapter 7 together.
Okay.
Oh, I'll come back. Because there's a group in my classroom, so I don't want them to get interrupted if they're still going and people start coming in.
So we go until 10:05.
Yeah, we're at the end of the class. If you're done early, my hope is that just the novel will bring about natural conversation from what we've prepared. It doesn't have to be like, I wrote this, okay, now what did you say?
Yeah.
It would be organic, and then if everybody, the conversation runs course, start chapter 7 together. Yeah. Okay, I'll be back in a bit.
Okay, then. It's weird. It's like she left, but she didn't.
She's still here watching us.
Big
Yeah.
Brother's always watching.
Big Brother's, we should get bonus marks for that one. Right?
Yeah.
Big Brother's always watching. Yeah, no, you definitely should mention that when we get back to class or something tomorrow. Yeah, no, another connection I'd like to make is that during the talk, you
I'm
are
always
just
watching this.
no matter what. But yeah, we'll continue. Oh yeah, no.
Yeah, that's basically all I have.
Yeah, that's basically it. Yeah. So if you want to go and then afterwards we can move on to fact checking.
I focused a lot on the characterization of the characters. I think they're very unique. One of the ones, the main character, Winston, he privately rebels against the party's quest for the dream. When he recalls his interaction with O'Brien in the hallway,
Yes.
he writes down to Big Brother like 10 times his response in his diary. What would I do?
Yeah.
And then he's a very thoughtful, contemplative character, which is often reflected in his kind of introspection and internal dialogue as he wrestles with his thought and I guess how he should take his course of action in society.
Real quick, won't this world 1984?
Yeah.
In a sense, without trying to promote being a contemplative, thoughtful person, but if you decide to take one of the two routes, Parsons and Winston, if you take Winston's route and you're alone with your thoughts, aren't you gonna normally be more contemplative because you get to be more observant? I take a look at Mr. Parson, and to be honest, he seems like a dumb. Like I don't understand what's happening in that guy's head. But yeah, I feel a lot more people would be like Winston if they went down his route of just being on their own.
But I think as you're reading, I feel like you can't help but sympathize with Winston. And the question I've heard is, what devices or like what techniques does Orwell employ to make Winston such a sympathetic or worthy of sympathy of a character?
I think the human character strives to find their other half, right? And that's one thing that we all look for, and there are so many symbols. This world right now shows a lot of love, right? Some of us even have it on our shirts. Somebody loves you, right? It's always looking for a connection with other humans, and yet when someone doesn't have a connection, we feel sorry for them. It's like especially one that I know everyone will be able to relate to is when you see an old person by themselves. It's immediately, they're alone, right?
Mrs. Brill.
Yeah, Mrs. Brill.
Or Miss Brill, sorry. It's just single.
Yeah, single, ready to mingle. But and then, Winston, I feel one of the better reasons we could feel to connect with him is because one, he's alone. Two, in the beginning we didn't know about family. Then we found out his mom is dead, confirmed, or
Yeah.
one of them is dead
They're
confirmed.
both dead, no?
Yeah, no, oh yes, they're both dead.
But his wife's not confirmed.
Yeah, wife is like not
He
confirmed.
had like an affair with old thing.
Yeah, and the sister, I think it's a sister.
Yeah, dead.
Yes,
Dead.
dead.
It's fine.
So
I guess you could also like see the amount of humanistic aspects that they put in him. Like even on the first line, Winston Smith, his chin nuzzled into his breast in an effort to escape the vile wind. There's a lot of humanistic features that are depicted within Winston. So I guess when you can connect with that and see that, then you can kind of relate to him and feel sympathetic for his environment.
Yes, made it much closer to with it. Made us much closer to a story by it being first person too. Put
Yeah.
us kind of in his shoes, and we could see he would run us through a lot of his thoughts in his head, especially on the people and environment around him, which was what we were thinking as well. Meaning that we were kind of able to have a conversation with Winston in a sense.
He is a human. Like he feels fear, but then he also feels hope that maybe the current state of the party could change. Maybe he could feel like living again. And I think in the book, there's so many characters that are either emotionally detached, I guess dim-witted like Parson,
Yes.
or I guess completely indoctrinated by Greek brother like Simon, which just
Mhm.
makes it harder to sympathize with them.
Yeah.
And that contrast is what makes Winston such a lovable and I guess easy to like character.
You can love him. I guess we like him. You can love him.
Okay,
Yeah.
choice of words.
Yeah. But and then gotta say something about that too. Just alas, don't worry, we can move on.
Simon is Winston's friend. He's an expert in newspeak. He works in the Ministry of Truth. And I guess Simon's character is mainly used in I guess chapter 1:6 to give provide an exposition about newspeak, like explaining good, like good plus good, whatever. Well, he is a devout follower of the party, but Winston still says that he'll probably get slimed because he knows too much or he thinks too much,
Yes.
right?
Yes.
He's gonna get vaporized.
He just needs to talk to the wrong person.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah. And they'll immediately put him on their radar. Yeah. Slime that brother. Slime.
Page 30 says thought crime does not entail death, thought crime is death. Like any sort of intelligence is going to be a threat to the party,
Yeah.
whether it is for them or against them, because any sort of intelligence is just a possibility of value.
Yes.
How do you think Orwell uses the character of Simon to provide more insight into the party and the motives?
Sorry, repeat that question.
How do you think the character of Simon, Orwell uses the character of Simon to give more insight into the party and the motives?
Yeah, so when I was reading science section, I immediately knew to lock in and like, hey, this is a part of the story you're gonna want to fully understand, remember, comprehend, because Simon is your in on how things work in this world. He's someone who's intelligent, high up, and not from Winston's perspective, right? So he had those key things, which meant he was practically our glossary, our dictionary. He knew what we were looking for, and Orwell used him in a sense that like, hey, I'm gonna give you the laydown of how text manipulation and the party works, right? I'm pretty sure it was him as well who gave us some of the punishments, like the 25 years, Winston and Simon, right? Went back and forth labor camp. But yeah, smart part of that.
What about Mr. Parsons? Like you said, Mr. Parsons isn't weighted by his fault, but that's what makes him, I guess, the ideal citizen in the minds of the party, because he's too ignorant to, I guess, question the motives of the party, and It goes to show how totalitarian regimes just thrive on blind conformity and lack of original thought.
Yeah.
I'm just gonna breeze past that one, but
Mm.
Big Brother. Big Brother is the ruler of Oceania.
Yeah.
His image is used to implement fear and control among the population. One of the significant ones being in the 2-minute hate, where he shows up to redirect hate towards, what's it called, scene?
Yes. Ernest?
Yeah,
Wow.
pretty sure.
He's on coins, televisions, posters all throughout the city. And my question is, how, or like, what is Big Brother symbolic of in the society of 1984?
Symbolic of, I mean, I feel that they try to associate him with, in a sense, a deity, right? In my opinion, because not once have I heard or seen any mention of a religion.
Mhm.
And correct me if I'm wrong here, Cameron, but was religion was it strengthened or weakened during like war times? As in, do you understand what I mean? Like,
Strengthened.
yeah, strengthened, right? And I thought that too, right? So I'm like, okay, I don't even see one person ever praying, ever begging, nothing like that, right? So I thought, okay, this Big Brother is symbolized with a deity. And when they mentioned the mascot, my first thought was Hitler. So yeah, for me, it's symbol. It's symbolism. Big Adolf Hitler.
Stalin also had.
Yes, yeah. And Mussolini too, actually.
Yeah.
Wow. It's a trait. Exactly.
Last character I thought on was O'Brien.
Mm.
He's the that shares a quick on Winston, and although no words were spoken, he thinks that O'Brien shares his unspoken doubts and rebellious thoughts against the party. Page 19 says, an unmistakable message had passed. It was as though their two minds had opened, and the thoughts were flowing from one into the other through their eyes. I'm with you. O'Brien was thinking the same thing as himself. I just wanted to ask if you guys think that Winston is correct on this, or if O'Brien is actually like a devout follower and just gonna slap him out sometime in the story.
I believe that O'Brien. Okay, so I'm gonna look stupid either way I put this anyway. But then let's say O'Brien is a follower. I don't think if Winston went and told him he's gonna reveal himself, right? Because of how paranoid this world is. It'd be quite, in my opinion, I feel like it'd be in a bit of an idiotic move for you to reveal yourself when you literally work in the Ministry of Truth,
Yeah.
right? And that's a higher up. Oh well, I'll look stupid, but hey, that's how it works. Cameron?
Tashi, can you repeat the question?
If you think O'Brien is a spy or not, essentially, or will be.
I think not really any way you can tell for sure.
Yeah.
He could be acting on his own accord with his conscience, but he could also be working to find others because he works in the Ministry of Truth. He could be trying to find other people who are actually, rebellious, and then I guess baiting them into revealing themselves, and then him, I guess, arresting them and vaporizing them. So I would think that it's a little bit too early to tell whether or not he is, whose side he's on.
Symbolisms. I think we already talked about telescreens,
Yeah.
but a question I did bring was telescreens symbolize surveillance and propaganda, but how does that compare to modern technology? I think Cameron already said, like Google Home, Siri, whatever. Do you have any thoughts on that topic?
No, I'm pretty sure we covered it earlier.
Alright. One more symbolism I wrote about Big Brother. The name Big Brother it connotes family and comfort. But I think that's ironic because his presence is in reality the exact opposite.
Yeah.
And the name itself is a prime example of, I guess, doublethink, because he's constantly surveilling people, vaporizing anything or anyone that's in his way or tries to oppose him, but he still tries to brand himself as someone that's watching you because he cares about you, listening to you. Do you guys have any thoughts to talk about?
I guess it would be, it's parallel with the doublethink or doublespeak aspect. As with like the Ministry of Truth and all that, it just means the opposite. Instead of like a big brother where he's like, I guess, supportive and friendly and protective of you, he's kind of like using that as an excuse to watch over your every move.
Last but not least, tone and vocabulary. I think the tone in 1984 is dark and negative. He makes it seem as undesirable to live in the society of 1984. Like, I vividly remember him describing the smell of Parsons' sweat. Like, that's just very sensory for me. Unappetizing food, like the pinkish gray stew, a hunk of bread and a cube of cheese, and someone left a pool of stew, a filthy liquid mess that had the appearance of vomit. And Mrs. Parsons' kitchen sink where he finds a pot of human hair.
Yeah.
All these descriptions feel unnecessary, but they just add to the whole atmosphere of just making it seem as disgusting as possible.
Yeah.
And again, he uses vocabulary like thought crime and face crime to show the lack of freedom and how individuals are forced to express their thought and actions. But thought crime and face crime are essentially used to show the extent to which totalitarian governments go to control their citizens. But do you guys think if there's any parallels to today where people filter their words or beliefs in order because they fear the consequences?
I'm trying to think of every celebrity that we know of does that. Because of one thing called cancel culture. People like, I'm not sure if you've seen Jimmy Kimmel, decided to, he went out against Charlie Kirk, and then the parent organization of his show decided like, hey,
You're done.
yeah, you're done. They suspended the Jimmy Kimmel show.
Because it was Fox, right?
Yeah, Fox, exactly. And make that connection, Fox, Charlie Kirk. Fox and Kirk. And then just celebrities do it all the time. When your normal person in an argument also has to do it depending on who you're speaking to.
Yeah.
When you realize, hey, okay, if you're talking about, let's say, LGBTQ rights, and you're arguing with someone about LGBTQ rights who isn't LGBTQ, it's going to be way different with someone that is LGBTQ.
Yes,
Yeah. So it's like, hey, there are some times where you have the same meaning, but you got to change what you're saying so that it comes out differently.
Nicer.
Nicer.
I think all politicians do it too.
Exactly. LGBTQ isn't ungood. It's just not plus good.
Yeah.
Right.
What did Jimmy Kimmel say? You know?
You can, pull it up. I remember it came on 6 bus.
Did they say it online?
Yes, on the show.
They just canceled it next week.
Yeah. But I mean, like, people are respecting him for it because, like, that's what people like him, Fallon, Jimmy Fallon, and like other people who have their own shows are meant to do, right? They're meant to talk about these type of things.
We had some new lows over the weekend with the MAGA gang desperately trying to characterize this kid who murdered Charlie Kirk as anything other than one of them, and with everything they can to score political points from it. So he basically made it a political statement.
Yeah. And then they cancelled him for that.
Yeah.
It's rough.
Very rough. Well, I mean, like, he's a millionaire, he should be fine.
I mean, he kind of deserved it. He's on a conservative television show.
Right?
Slandering.
Yeah.
Yeah, sort of
Slandering.
funny.
Like, you don't bite the hand that feeds you.
Mm-hmm. Exactly.
Do you think oral warnings are more or less relevant in our society today?
It's always going to be more relevant because we have the ability to do what 1984 did, just way better. Like,
And on a larger scale.
yeah, on a larger scale. Because what we could do, I mean, first instances, it would be, if you told me that they had 1984 standards and like surveillance in North Korea, I wouldn't bat my eye. That would actually make sense, right? So I think it's more relevant today, and there's really not much you can do about it. It's either going to happen or and like we both said, like it doesn't even, maximum it would take is 2 generations. It could even happen in 1 generation. We would just all be wizards, right? Because we remember something from the past, just we can't really say much or we're gonna get caught.
Oh.
Caught.
Okay.
Caught.
That's all I have.
Fact checks. Fact checks. Okay. My 3 fact checks, I think I referenced
2.
Yes, it is 2.
Okay.
Yeah.
I thought I did one last word.
No. I did 3, I can't remember why. I did the doublethink origin, which we talked about, Orwell's doublethink, 2 country beliefs, and accepting both. And then I had the children as spies, right? So Stalin and Soviet Union encouraged kids to slime out their parents. Yeah.
Between 1980 through 1984, 1984 experienced the surge of sales, selling 4 million copies in 62 languages.
For the book?
Yeah. Between 1983 and 1984, 4 million copies.
Wow.
People are nervous.
People were nervous?
They're trying to see what will happen.
Mm.
Or else I'm assuming.
Yeah.
So I had 2. First, Big Brother is influenced by real world totalitarian. I can't say that word. Orwell was deeply concerned with the rise of the regimes in the 20th century, particularly the Soviet Union, Nazi Germany, and fascist Italy, fascist Spain. And then the big character of Big Brother and the party surveillance were directly inspired by the propaganda and state control that he saw. In his 1946 essay, he wrote that every line of serious work that I have written since 1936 has been written, directly or indirectly, against totalitarianism and democratic socialism as I understand it. And then another fact check was he had a lot to know about this topic because he actually fought against one of the fascist regimes during the Spanish Civil War from 1936 to 1937, where he primarily fought against the Soviets. And in the book, it says that Winston works in the records department of the Ministry of Truth, where his job is to alter the historical documents to match the party's ever-changing narrative. So this can be seen as like the act of rectification that ensures that the party is always presented correctly. So he saw that within the Soviet Union, where they were always trying to paint themselves as like a better person.
Yeah. Okay, I think that's it. Or is it?
My second one says,
Second one.
during the Second World War, Orwell and his wife Eileen were almost killed in the final hour of the Blitz.
It's rough. Oh well.
Well, he's dead now.
Yeah. Oh well.
Oh well.
Yeah.
You see what I did there?
Oh well.
Orwell.
Oh well.
Actually, it works.
Maybe next time. Well, one quick thing before I end off the stream.
Green apple.
Oh, okay. I'm surprised how fast they got so many government workers behind Big Brother.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
so many people decided to, because I'm guessing that he was like a military general who probably assumes power, yeah, like through complete violence, right? Or, but all the government workers like, yeah, now let's follow this guy, one. Two, yeah, let's change all history so that,
Well, I guess it benefits them.
yeah, exactly, it benefits them, only them, not
Yeah.
their families,
Yeah.
only them, yeah. Right,
I mean, one connection for that, I guess you could connect that to the Hotel Rwanda movie that we watched
Yeah.
in Human Geography,
yeah.
where the main character, I'm looking for that name.
How in Human Geo.
Yeah, we kind of have that covered. No. Yes, him. Yeah.
What's his name? Forgot.
Yeah, only
Paul.
he.
Paul.
Paul,
that's his
Black
name.
Eye Paul, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes, Paul kind of tried to save himself first, and then
Yeah.
save his family, and then everyone else.
Yeah.
So I guess he connected to that.
He was a bit of a nonce though. He should have like. Alright, bye guys.
Found it.
Wait, hold on. I'll pound. You stop the recording.
No, you got nugget too.
Huh?
Your nugget.
I got a nugget. What?
Found it. Nugget.
What nugget?
Not seem good, perfect.
Nah, dude.